point. Join us to share her story. At this point, we have Bimpe Osai-Ntui. She's the Managing Director, Deals Delight. She's joined us right here in the studio. Great to have you. Good morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Good morning.
So, healthy diets. You know, we've had the MBS, you know, they tracked that for a while, even though we've not really tracked it this year. We've seen the cost of a healthy diet starting from April 2024, started about 1,000 naira and 35. July 2024, 1,200 naira. That's the average price. Then September 2024, up again, 1,346. And, you know, definitely we've been battling food inflation, you know, for a while now. Then last week, I was trying to buy fruits. And the mama told me apple. One apple costs 800 naira.
Yes.
That's the big one.
Yes.
Then if you're looking for the smaller ones,
500.
you know, so it seems being healthy is quite expensive, you know, at this point. How you seen the industry so far?
So I think, like you said, inflation is one, so that has affected all foods beyond just healthy foods. But healthy food has always been slightly more expensive. I think if apple that you're buying at the market is that price, imagine when I need to combine it for a parfait with other things, the price is going to skyrocket. So there are other reasons why a finished product would easily be more expensive. But I think Nigerians have evolved to understanding that even though it's a bit more expensive, it's for their health. So I will push the boundary just a teeny bit because I know that it's going to be good for me and, you know.
So the consumer is ready to take on more?
Oh, yeah. So you see different price ranges and the consumers are absorbing it.
Right.
And they see value in it.
I'm talking about the parfait now. We see it ranges at this point between 3,000 to maybe about 6,000 naira.
To 11,000.
I've seen 11K, and I'm like, I don't know what's in that one, but that's like the high-end parfait at this point. So
I think for parfait, it's what you put in it.
Okay.
So the 11,000 would have fruits that are maybe not your typical apples. So that comes to play. So the same way apple is expensive, imagine putting 4 or 5 other products in it. It's going to skyrocket the price, but as long as the consumer sees value in it, they'll buy it.
Right. And salads. That's another story.
Yes.
About 3,000, like 5,000 naira for a pack.
Same thing depends on what you put in. So you know the typical, like you would go, even if you go to a restaurant, there are different salads. There's a cup salad, there's Caesar salad. Some even use imported vegetables. But the point is, once you buy your vegetables in the market, yes, it's going to be cheaper and it's VAT exempt. Once you combine it into a plate, it becomes VATable. So obviously, if anybody selling salad is going to charge VAT, it's going to skyrocket the price. Over beyond whatever operating costs and profit they want to put into it. So it's going to be expensive. But the raw materials themselves have skyrocketed in price.
Right. So how do you navigate, you know, all of that to also be in business, you know, make profit and still, you know, get your customers to still buy, even though you have to keep, you know, raising those prices?
So I think it's creating value. And value could also be a perception. But the question is, whoever your consumers are, what do they see as value? And ensuring that your product is able to communicate that. And thank God we're in the era of social media where you are given a gateway or a platform to express and authenticate whatever value that you're promoting or sharing. Because previously you would not have been able to share that value. People see this, make a decision, and they move away. But now with the social media, you can tell the story about your product, authenticate it, let people see the behind the scenes to say, we're not literally making this under a carpet somewhere. We actually have structures, there are costs involved. So you authenticate why you are pricing, why you are who you say you are, or providing what you say you are. And I think people tend to familiarize and have an emotional connection with you and the business or the product, as the case will be,
Right, and you know, some of these fruits are imported.
Yes.
Majority are imported, and you know, definitely that's a price pressure. That puts, you know, pressure on the naira. You know, at this point, talk to me about the intricacies there. What's really playing out in that fruit import business?
So I think the ones that are imported many times are a bit more trusted in terms of you believe those are the likely ones that are organic and chemical free. The ones here, maybe based on the issues we have in our supply chain from farmer to end consumer and all the logistic distribution issues, many of them are chemical induced as well to churn it out faster and probably reduce their loss on the long run. So I think there's more imported in the market, but there's a big opportunity for local. In terms of capacity, I think we can do it. Especially the farmers, they just need the right support to get them to grow it, because it's demand. Now people are reading labels. So for Greek yogurts, people are asking, do you have a lactose-free option? What's your sugar content? What's your probiotic? What's the protein content? These are questions that are wondering, why are you looking? But that's the era we're in. People are very discerning. People are asking questions, and the same way people don't want chemically induced products. So I think the opportunity is there, but we still do a lot of importation like we do for many things. But there's no reason why we can't. We have farms. We have farmlands. So I think they just need to be equipped with funding and a right distribution channel for us to be able to get the
So you don't see any risk with the imported fruits?
It would always make our prices go up. That's the first thing.
No health risk?
No health risk. Like, the main health risk is if it's chemically induced. But if it's organic, no health risk. Yeah, if it's fruits, if it's something else, that's a different discussion. But if it's fruits and they're healthy, there's no health risk. As long as you know the source. Do you understand? You need to know the source. But funny enough, even though we don't know the source is coming from, but because it's imported, we assume
that's a
that
good
it's
source.
better. Exactly.
Right.
That's an assumption.
What about the GMO play there? Where does that come in when it comes to local sourcing?
So I think the other lady was saying it's not bad, people just need to declare it on the... So I think it's a debatable topic. I personally would say that too much of anything is not good. We all consume different things that we don't even know what is in it because it's not clearly defined or indicated. But too much of it would obviously have an effect. Anything GMO induced or chemically induced will have an effect if you take too much of it. But can you totally stay free from it? I doubt it. So it's a debatable discussion. We all eat things that are GMO. We just maybe don't know. You don't know? Yeah, we don't know, but we eat it. Can we be more cautious about it? Yes. But is it going to kill us? No. If you're eating it regularly. So we need to work on labeling. Labeling, and I think that's what a lot of the regulatory people are fighting for, SON, NAFTA, and they're doing a good job. For even smaller businesses, they've upped the ante of the requirements, so you can't just come and just be doing it anywhere. The structure of where you're producing from needs to meet a certain standard, and indirectly it helps we manufacturers because you now meet certain international standards versus just producing something from any facility. All right, so looking at the business now, the healthy food business, somebody might be sitting there at home and wondering, I want to go into this business. I want to start a healthy food business. I feel like the profit will be incredible. What's it really like? So it's interesting. The healthy food business, I would even say right now, everybody thinks it's an easy play because it's, especially for the category we play, which is the dairy category, we produce Greek yogurt at Deals Delight. It's a low barrier to entry because the materials you require are not much. But there's so much more that goes into it. There's storage, there's infrastructure, there's supply chain. There are a lot of things that go into that people don't consider. They just see it looks like everybody's doing this and it must be a win. It looks like that is what is booming. But you also realize that a lot of people go in fast and they jump out fast. Because when they go in and the why is because I just want to make money, but you haven't done your research, you haven't played out a way to reach your customers, or who are my customers? What exactly is going to make me different from, because now everybody's looking the same. So it's difficult to differentiate, but if you know your whys and what's driving you and you have a clear plan, there's no reason why you can't start a healthy business. But you need to have kind of carved out why you are in this healthy business. Is it because it's booming? But can you manage the complexities that come with the materials, the storage, the transportation, the risks? You can have a day where you produce 600 liters and something happens and you have to discard the whole thing. Do you have the bandwidth to absorb such? Even distribution. How are you going to get it to, say you want to distribute to stores? So we do majorly in stores. We have over 200 stores we supply. When they don't pay you on time, what happens? Do you have enough capital to... So it all looks glamorous on the outside when social media, but there's a lot of back work that...
Do you think the banks like to lend to such business?
So I think the banks like to see what works. If you have a model that works and you have your books in a row and you see traction, they would lend to the business.
All right, so I guess they don't find it high risk that much.
No, it's not high risk. The challenge is a lot of the people who are currently in this category are SMEs or fast-growing SMEs. For that, the Greek yogurt, parfaits, and all of that, they're fast-growing SMEs. So the banks would obviously weigh their risk, and they want to see your audited statements. They want to see what you've done, where you are, what your traction has been over the last 3 years. Do we see a potential? So they want to see proof that this is a viable business and not a fluke, which they would typically do for other businesses, but they might be more, pay more attention because the risk is higher. That's the honest truth.
All right, and everybody's in it to make something.
To make something out of it,
At this point. Thank you so much for helping us unpack this. Ms. Bigbe of Sign 2. She's the Managing Director at Deals Delight. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you very much for having me. It was good.